So I'm just doing the dishes right now. But basically, I have to talk about this, right? Because I was told to by my friend. So basically, we're going to talk about mushrooms today, right? Mushrooms and LSD, and basically how they're like really like there's so much stigma around these things, you know, like they're looked down upon, and you know, like you say to someone like, oh, you know, I'm going to take some mushrooms or I'm going to take some LSD and you know, acid, right? They're going to look at you like you're fucking crazy, like, you know, like, oh, you're gonna fucking go insane, man. You're gonna, you know, start running around with like no shirt and go completely naked in the forest and jump out of windows and stuff. And you know, there's so much just lies and fear behind it because it's completely untrue. You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. You know, mushrooms were here before we were, right? The fungus. It's nature. It grows out of, it's like a fungus that grows from like cow dung, right? So it was here before, it grows in nature. It was here before humans even existed. So it knows something that we don't, right? So it's a teacher. It teaches us things. Here's the thing. So I'll tell you guys both of them, but the thing with mushrooms is it's like powerful. It's almost too powerful, meaning you can't control it at all, completely, zero control. So the best way to describe it is, so you know, I go in the forest because that's where I took mine. You know, I go in the forest as myself. I go in as my 24-year-old self named Vincenzo. You know, I'm wearing a Lacoste t-shirt. I'm wearing a Lacoste t-shirt. I'm 24, and I go in the forest. Once I'm in the forest, that's not who I am anymore. So, how do I explain this in the best way? It strips everything bare, completely. What does that mean? It means there's no ego left, zero ego, like at all. It means that you die. You die completely. You are dead. 100% you are dead. But you don't have to fear that. You know why? Because we give our trust to God, right? We give our trust to the Lord. So you breathe, you let it teach you, but it strips everything that you thought that you were away completely. Meaning, as I was saying, I'm Vincenzo, I'm 24 years old, you know, I was born in Hungary to these two parents. Nope, that's not who I am. That's who I am in this body now, but beyond that, that's not who I am. Who I am is infinite, complete stillness, right? Infinite, complete energy, a source of power, right? An eternal flame. That I was given this meat body, right? This body made of meat and muscles and blood and bones. And I happen to be a 24-year-old man, born to Hungarian parents, right? With an Italian name, which I like, right? It's nice, but it's not who I am. It's just, it's how I was given life in this form, in this moment right now. but when I die, that could be a little Chinese girl in the 15th century, right? Or it could be a bird somewhere in Italy, right? I don't know. That was just an example. But basically, so what does it do? It strips you bare completely. Like, it tells you to sit down, shut up, and listen, right? Like a teacher, like scolding a child, because that's what I felt like a child. I was so humbled. But here's the thing, I went into the experience of the mushroom experience wanting answers, right? I didn't like, by the way, my arms look so good right now. They look fucking huge. Ooh, look at that. Anyway, so I went in wanting answers of the mushrooms, right? Because I wanted to know, like, what can they show me that I don't already know? Despite me already being a believer in God, right? And I'm a messenger of God and I pray. It killed me, but in the best way, meaning, so you go into the experience sweating, right? So you start sweating, that's how it starts. Palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. Right, sorry. So you start sweating, right? And then, I can't think straight now because I'm laughing. So you're sweating, but it's actually serious, right? Because when you're in that experience, it humbles you, right? It's not a joke. You're not gonna laugh, right? You're not gonna laugh, like it teaches you, right? You have to listen. So I remember I was like holding myself. I was like this. I was like looking at the trees. You know, obviously, right? If you're like a person from the outside, you're gonna think I'm fucking crazy, but I'm not, right? I'm not. So you know, I was like holding myself like this. I was like looking at the trees and stuff, like the branches. And I saw like my child in the branches, right? I was like, I was the baby, but I was holding myself. And I saw my own child in the branches. So the branches were alive. And this is not a joke. And I feel like that's how real life is. But because I'm so conditioned and I'm so like just tunnel visioned on being who I am now and this 24-year-old guy and wanting sex all the time and just wanting like, I don't want these things anymore, and that's not who I am. I don't want external validation. I'm just saying that most people, you know, they seek that external validation. They want that external validation. But I'm saying I don't want that anyway. I was never like that, right? I like myself. I don't talk to anyone. I just pray. I'm with God, right? I'm a messenger of God. I love myself only. This is why I have no friends. I have 0 friends. But I'm okay with that. You know, when I was younger, I was lonely, right? And I'm just making this video because I feel like maybe I can help someone else, like when I was younger, right? So basically, do not be afraid of mushrooms or LSD, right? Because they're teachers. I feel like I didn't even explain it properly. I was just messing around. It takes everything around you, insects, birds, trees, winds, everything around you. I took it in the forest, right? And that's why I recommend people to take it. No one with me, completely alone, right? And you have to take a decent amount and you have to know it's true, right? It's real. So it takes everything around you, the littlest things. So a bird's whisper, right, as it's singing, will ground you, right? Like, so the bird is singing here and it's so strong, like, just think in everyday life, right? The bird is like just, no, when you're in that experience, right, that is all around you, right? That is everywhere. It's like a prison, like it cannot move. It's like, okay, that obviously sounds crazy. Here's the thing, but the bird tweaking and the bird like singing actually gives you, like in that moment, in that specific moment of when you're going to take it, it's going to give you like visions of what it needs to show you. So to me personally, it showed me, you know, I'm going to be a father soon. You know, it gave me visions that I'm ready to be a father. You know, it didn't give me visions of who the mother's going to be, but it made me ready because, and I trust it, you know, I trust it because I've been working on myself a lot recently. You know, I know that I'm a God-fearing man. I know that I'm a true man. I know that I'm a real man. And I know that I'm not fake. And I'm real, and present, and honest, and true. And that's why I have no friends. Because everyone nowadays is just afraid of themselves, afraid of their depth, right? But I'm not, and I refuse to be, and I won't be. And I don't care. And I will... And I encourage you guys, if you don't like someone, right, not because they're wrong to you, but I blocked my own parents, right, and obviously that's not going to be forever, right, and obviously, I'm going to go back and talk to them, like when I feel like I need to, when God tells me that it's fine to, but right now, I need to be completely alone, just with God, right, and it's made me the most happiest I've ever been. And if he tells me to go deep in the forest and take mushrooms or take LSD, then I will. And you know what? I come out of it every time stronger than myself, you know? And I do this alone. And for the strongest, that makes no sense. No strongest. For the longest of times, I've been afraid. I've been afraid of the world. I was, you know, like a child, right? I was still thinking of like, oh, there's people out there with guns, big bad people, drugs, stabbings. Oh no, scary. It's actually not even like that, like at all. Like that's just all the media, like just brainwashing you. Like that is so rare. It's like 1%, but it makes it seem like it's gonna happen every day, all the time when you go outside, right? And it just numbs you. It takes you away from who you are. And I feel like these substances are there to like show us and teach us who we actually are, and it just shows us like raw emotion, right? It brings us out of who we are, right? As people, as like just presence, right? And that's not good for the media and the system, right? Because it requires change, and it brings change in people. And I mean, that's what happened when LSD was banned, right? I mean, it was people didn't like wars, and they were going on like big riots and stuff, and that scared the government, right? So that's not allowed to do, not allowed to be. But I feel like now things are very different, and the modern age is different, and me talking about this now is completely fine. And there will be someone out there who resonates with me, right? So basically, don't be afraid of the medicine, right? Mushrooms is a lot stronger than LSD, right? A lot stronger, like completely stronger. It's like a feminine teacher, an old feminine teacher, right? Like a grandmother. You know, like that Baba Yaga, right? The Baba Yaga, the Russian woman in the forest, like in the old hut. You know, like that myth. You know, there's like that woman with like the chicken legs, and she has like a house and stuff, and her name's like Baba Yaga. That's mushrooms, right? So you will sit there and shut up and listen, but I feel like LSD like brings like just you like completely out, meaning like just it's creative, right? Obviously with your own research, right? You do your own research, you do everything. I'm not a doctor, but I'm saying this is what worked for me. I'm saying these substances are definitely good. Just because they're illegal doesn't mean they're bad. And I feel like they will help me grow a lot. But mushrooms is only like max once a year, max twice a year. It's too powerful. It's unstudied. It's really strong and powerful and just crazy. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It can help a lot, like very much so. It's a lot, it's good. But I feel like LSD is more for like me, as I am as a person, as my soul, right? Because I'm creative, I'm on fire, I'm electric, right? It's electrifying. By the way, Grease is so good, right? It's so old, but it's so good. If you guys haven't watched Grease, watch Grease, because John Travolta is like so good. I loved him in Pulp Fiction as well, but in Grease he's like, you know, he's the guy, right? But yeah, so that's LSD. It's basically John Travolta in Grease. That's LSD, right? It's electrifying. You'll really like it. if you take it with care, right, you have to be like respectful of the substance, very respectful, and it basically just reminds you of who you are. It's a mirror, right? It's a mirror, so it just mirrors your soul. It brings more you out. But here's the thing, most people aren't ready to face themselves. Most people are afraid of themselves, their egos, right? Here's the thing, because I gave myself completely to God, I died to God, right? So I don't have an ego anymore. He shattered it. I'm just pure love, confidence, presence, truth, grace, and trust. And I have like this burning stomach feeling inside me saying like everything's going to be okay no matter what, and that's God, right? That's what he said, like, take my yoke upon me because it's easy. My yoke is easy and it will make you feel good. And it's true, because that's what Jesus felt. So now I feel like this calmness all around me all the time. So you have to give faith to God, right? But here's the thing, people think LSD is like a party drug, right? So they take it and they go like crazy, they go wild, and then they complain when they throw up and like they're going crazy, right? Because there's no ego. It strips the ego like this. But here's the thing, if you already don't have an ego, right, because you give yourself to God, then it will show you realness and truth, right? It will show you the beauty in the tree. You can look at a piece of plant or just like a leaf and just be completely just like, wow, this is like the entire universe in this plant and it's beautiful. So yeah, so don't judge a book by its cover.